Guys, what is up? It's MELG Gaming here, and in today's Friday 13th video, I have something really different for you guys for my channel. Basically, I'm going to be ranking the Jasons in the game from worst to best. Now, keep in mind, this is the game and not the movies. So, for example, Part 7, in my opinion, is a really good movie, but Part 7 in this game is probably the most trash Jason in the whole game. So, that's just an example. Also, this video idea was thought up by It's Oreo. I'm sure it's been done by many people, but it was brought to my attention by It's Oreo, so I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the description down below, and you guys can go check him out if you want to. He streams and plays F13 also. So let's go and get right into this. So basically, I'm going to be looking at the Jason stats and comparing them to other Jasons and just giving you guys my brutal, honest opinion. I'm going to try to be as non-biased as possible. For example, with Roy, I personally, the first time I ever was killed as Jason was about 2 weeks ago, and it was because I was using Roy, because his defense is so low that a Bugsy or even a Adam is able to 2 or 3 hit his mask with like an axe or machete. I've even seen a Bugsy 3 hit it with a pan, so defense is pretty terrible. So yeah, I'm just gonna try to keep that out of it though. I'll try. Alright, so basically, I kind of gave away what my opinion on the worst Jason is in the beginning of the video. Part 7, in my opinion, is definitely the worst Jason in this whole game. Now don't get me wrong, he looks really cool. Okay, he looks really cool. And the movie, well, I said I wouldn't include the movies, but the movie is really good. Yet the Jason is so bad. So bad. So take a look at his stats here. His sense is good. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I guess it's okay to have sense. I personally don't even use sense that much. Yeah. So that doesn't really make a difference to me, because I kind of barely find myself using sense because I don't know. I just don't use it. I just go to cars or phone houses and get my kills that way. I rarely have to use sense. The only case in which I have to use sense is if I'm in a lobby where somebody is hiding the whole game, which I don't. Those are pretty rare. People that do that are pretty rare. People that do that are also really annoying, in my opinion. So that doesn't really matter to me. Water speed, obviously doesn't matter unless you're on a boat map. And once again, personally, I make sure they don't even get the car started, or sorry, the boat started, because I put traps on it, and I'm, you know, those audio keys, I really pay attention to those. You know, players that have been playing for a while can tell the difference between a propeller being messed up and a battery being messed up, or a phone being messed up. It's not that hard to tell the difference. It's just you got to be playing and just learn the difference. So once again, water speed doesn't really matter to me at all. Now grip strength is really good, especially if you're trying to get environment kills, which is what I try to do a lot. Basically, for those who don't know, grip strength, it makes it harder for the counselors to break free from grabs. So it means you can hold them longer and walk with them longer to an environment kill. That's pretty much the only plus side I think about that. And the downside is if they're surrounded by people, you just get hit anyways and you drop them. So that's a downside to that. So of his strengths, there's only really one that's technically useful. So just keep that in mind. Now this is where it gets really, really, really bad for Part 7 Jason. So he can't run, right? Well, whenever you see that a Jason can't run, you expect him to have a better shift to make up for that. Not here. Not here. His shift is decreased. Get this. So he can't run, and his shift is decreased. And he spawns with 3 traps, which personally I hate, because I love trapping the phone, the car, the other car, or the boat, and my shack. So I need a Jason with at least 5 traps. And that's, once again, getting personal. Kind of just is based on how you play with the traps. But the can't run and the decreased shift is really, Really, really bad. So bad. I guess we'll go over his kills. His kills, I think, are pretty cool, actually. And once again, he looks amazing, but it's just the stats are so bad, so bad. So that's the edition that I think is the worst. Now let's go to second. Who is second worst in my opinion? Let me scroll through here. Maybe you guys can guess on the video. I know everybody's gonna have their own opinions or whatever. But let's just go. Now, I think a good spot for second might be part 6. And there's I know people would disagree on this one for sure, because I've seen people using him a lot, and I've also seen everybody escaping a lobby whenever there's a 6. Kind of not that hard. So I guess we'll go with the pros real quick. So the spear, if you guys didn't know, basically if you have a part 6 Jason and he knows how to do this, the spear allows him to hit you from so much further than any other weapon. So you can be this Jason. He can't run, so keep that in mind. But as long as you can kind of keep up with the counselor, you can get a couple slashes in. That's 2 or 3 hits right there, because the range of the spear is pretty cool. That's a pro. Another pro is since the Jason buff, he actually has access to I believe it's 9 knives. That number may be wrong because I literally never play 6 because he's so bad. But I believe it's he spawns with 7 and there's 2 in the shack, so that makes 9. I think it's like that. I think Roy's like that too. Anyway, so once again we have the useless sense here. Useless in my opinion. You can believe whatever you want to believe. And this is a pro here. This is a pro. I like my Jason to have a good shift, right? I enjoy that. Especially whenever he can't run. See, unlike part 7, he had can't run and decreased shift. Terrible, terrible combination. But this one has increased shift to make up for the can't run. So it kind of evens it out, kind of balances it out. I feel like if part 7 had that, he honestly wouldn't be the worst on the list, I think. Now some cons here. First, let's talk about his kills. His kills are epic, really epic. But as we said before, I don't choose the Jason that I play. I don't choose him based on his kills. Because most of the time I'll be using, whenever I unlock them, I'll be using these anyways. Let's see, which one am I close to here? Okay, pretty close to that one. Decently close, kinda. I don't know. Another double XP weekend and I might have it. Anyway, so yeah, the kills are cool, I guess you could say, but it's whatever. It's whatever. Like I said, the can't run, I really, really hate that. But we have the shift here to make up for it. Now the morph. The morph this is really bad. This is really bad. Okay, because in my opinion, you need a Jason with good morph, okay? Because at any moment you could be, for example, at any moment you could hear the phone box getting tampered with. You go there, morph there, take care of that fool, trap it up, do whatever you gotta do, and then the very next second you hear the battery being put in the car, and you know that the gas has already been put in it. Or I'll give you a different scenario. You go by the car, you see that the hood's down, right? You kill somebody at the car, let's just say that, and you can see that they dropped the keys. Well, oh, and for those people wondering, you can see that as Jason. You can look down and you can visibly see the keys. Then you hear the phone box being tampered with. So what you do is you morph to the phone box, take care of that guy. But then you hear gas, and as this Jason, you cannot morph there immediately. As any other Jason, you couldn't do it immediately. Unless part 2, of course. Part 2 has beautiful morph, by the way. So you're taking an L. You're taking a possible L, and they could get away because of the fact that your morph is bad. And I don't know if many people know this, but catching a car as Jason is actually terrible. Really bad. It's easy to juke Jason in a car, especially whenever you got a Jason who can't run. His shift is good, but basically, to stop the car, as good as people are getting at juking Jason, with all these perks like lead foot, grease monkey, etc., etc., you basically need Jason with good morph, and you need to get either a lucky morph or a good morph right in front of the car. basically is how to catch Jason now. Or catch the car as Jason now. In the beginning, it was way easier. Like, you just walked out and they drove into you. But now people actually know how to play the game. So, unless you got, like, I don't know, like a noob and they just drove into you, that'd be cool. So, next we have defense, which, like I said, I'm gonna try to keep my bias from past events out of the scenario. But basically, in my lobbies that I host, everybody's trying to kill Jason. Which means you got a girl always going for the sweater. You got a Bugsy and an Adam and a Chad always hitting you. You're always trying to block. And with this Jason, your mask is probably just going to come off. Same with Roy. So that's why he is second place here. Alright, now third place. You guys want to... I'll scroll through, let you guys see what it could possibly be. Once again, I'll be trying to keep personal opinions out of it. But I think I might. I know people are not going to like this. You know what? Nah, we'll give 3 to 3. We'll give 3 to 3. Seems fair, right? Okay, so, I know you guys thinking, what are you doing? This is the default Jason for noobs. He's not good at all, and you just put him above the other two. Trust me, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Trust me. Let me explain this. Part 3 is actually, like, very underrated. Like, he's actually really good is the thing. Now, truth, you can see most people that play him will be a noob and they will be bad at the game. But if a level cap person were to play as him, or a, I don't know, 80 to 100 area, he's really good, and you can see that. You can see that. Now, it's been a while since I played as Jason, so forgive me if I do get some of the some of the numbers wrong here. Like, for example, I think he spawns with 5 traps. Believe that seems right. So yeah. Alright, so let's go through his strengths first. Now, here we have the can run, which is really good, and then you can see over here that he doesn't lose any shift. So he's got normal shift and he can run. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, honestly. Like, let's not lie. That's hella good. And I wish I'd went ahead and put work into, you know, seeing the amount of seconds. So I think his shift, since it's normal, it's about 20-25 seconds roughly. I don't know. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong. So that's pretty good, and he can run. Now, weapon strength. Now, for people that don't know what the weapon strength means, basically, what people say when they see a 3 in a lobby, and you know they see that 3 is chosen, basically, we will just yell slasher. And basically what that means is, before the pocket knife update, you know, the pocket knife nerf, I don't even know how many knives there were on a map. There were, like, literally everybody had like 2 or 3, okay? But ever since the nerf, there's 4 on the whole map, 5 if you count Tommy's, or whatever you want to do. I don't know, it depends. But Jason's will still do this, right? So since they have a weapon strength, they will just slash counselors. And unless you have thick skin or use a med spray, in about 2, maybe 3 slashes, you will be completely injured and be immobile and, you know, basically just dead. So that's what makes his Jason pretty cool. If you see a group of 3 or 4 people, and you know as soon as you grab one, you're gonna get hit and you're gonna drop them, or if you're pretty positive they have a knife and you're just gonna get knifed when you hit them, just do a slash. I don't do slash kills because I think that's pretty low. That's a pretty low thing to do. What I will do though is I will slash them to the points where they are so injured they can't run, and then I'll go for a grab kill. That's just what I do. I hate people that do full slash kills. So yeah. And then grip strength. I talked about this earlier. They cannot break from your grip fast, and you can basically, it gives you the advantage walking them to an environment kill and doing an environment kill for an extra 50 XP. So that's cool. Now the stun resistance, kind of personally don't like it. But, you know, obviously, you can go into combat stance and block. I just don't I don't like messing with combat stance on this game, guys, honestly, because it's really broken. Like, as a counselor, Actually, for Jason, it's not that broken. Like, it's not that bad. But for a counselor, have you guys ever noticed that you go into combat stance and it will, like, auto-aim you on another counselor and not even on Jason at all? Anybody notice that? Combat stance is really broken. I really hope that that's something that, that they look at with the new engine and dedicated servers. So, yeah. So since, once again, since that didn't even matter to me, personally, so it's not really a loss for me. Stock, I do like using stock. I do. I mean, most of the time I'm talking to my mic and you can hear me as Jason anyways, but if it's a case where I can morph on somebody and, you know, activate stock and then morph on them and kind of hear their conversation for a second or two, they'll talk about what they're doing, you know, on a walkie-talkie. So it's cool. It's cool in that way. And then other people who take stock really seriously, you can actually get some really sneaky kills on people without them even knowing. Personally, what I like to do is I like to chase down my prey and, you know, let him know I'm there, you know, talk to him in the mic, mess with him on the mic. That's just what I like doing. But if you're a person that likes getting those sneaky stock kills, then this probably wouldn't be that good for you. Okay, so fourth place. Fourth place, I'm going to put part 2. Now the reason I'm putting part 2 in fourth place it's a little personal, but you know, it's whatever. We'll talk about his pros and cons. First, let's just talk about, well, the way he looks is pretty cool. If you guys have never seen part 2 on Mass, it's really cool. So just throw that out there. His weapon kills are pretty dope as well. Not gonna lie, they're pretty cool. Now I will mention a really bad con for him real quick that's not really listed here. If you guys didn't know, as part 2 Jason, it actually takes between, I think I counted it as 6 one day. 6 or 7 hits to knock down a barred door. So that's really bad. Like, really bad. That's enough time for a counselor to regain their stamina and go to the next cabin. It's really bad. And for me, I kind of hate it because I like that fast pace. You know, like I mentioned, I like a Jason that can run and shift good. You see, so obviously I like my Jasons to knock down doors fast, which is what you guys will see whenever I get to my higher up Jasons. So this is number 4 right now. This fourth place right here. Alright, so let's go through his strengths. He can run, which, like I mentioned, I love that. I really love that in a Jason. So that's cool. Traps, it's 7 or 8. Once again, sorry for not knowing the actual number. Yeah. Yeah, 7 or 8. Which is cool, because, like I said, if it were me, and I'm in a lobby where I believe people are gonna go for a kill, I can put 2 on the shack, 1 or 2 on the phone, depending on how I think if they're gonna call the cops or not. 1 or 2 on the car, whatever you want to do, you can basically put 2 on every exit, which is really cool. I really like that, because the shack gives you peace of mind, and then everything else is just all good. So like I said, that's pretty cool. I love that. His morph, I also am in love with this, right? Because like I mentioned earlier when talking about 6, I think it was 6, I like to know what's going on at all times in my camp, right? So if I hear a car battery being messed up, spawn to the car. So let's say about, I think his regenerates in like 15 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds. So let's say about 10 to 15 seconds later, I hear a phone box fuse being messed up. And theoretically, let's just say I was able to kill the guy at the car really fast. Let's just say theoretically. Then I can just morph there and kill that guy on the phone really fast. And then, like I said, the upside to having this Jason is, say that guy took an L on the trap, I can just replace the trap because I got, you know, 7. So it's cool. I like that. I really like that about this Jason. Now his shift, once again, I don't like my Jason to have a bad shift, but he makes up for it in his running. So we're just gonna look over that. And then here we come to the defense once again. once again, I have people in my lobby that at all times trying to kill Jason, so that's why you guys don't see me maining these Jasons much, the bad defense Jasons. Like, I love everything else about them, besides their bad defense. Now, I haven't really seen a part 2 mask get knocked in a wall, but I know it's harder than Roy. You know, I know it takes longer than Roy, that's for sure. I think it's between 7 and 8, and that was an Atom, and yeah, I was using Atom, and I was also using a machete or an axe. Yes, machete, and then it broke, and then I got an axe, and then the last hit was with an axe. And you switch that to a Bugsy, and the whole time being axe, it can probably be about 5. But once again, that's better than Roy, because I've seen Roy take an L 3 hits with a pan. So that's pretty bad. So that's why I don't like this. You know. And then the water speed, like I said, doesn't really make a difference to me because I make sure that they don't get the boat started anyways. So that is 4th place. I'll scroll through here and make you see if you guys can figure out what I'll pick as 5th here. Alright, 5th place. Part 5. What do you know? I didn't mean for this to happen. I really didn't, I swear to God. The next 2 won't be the right numbers. Okay, so 5th place is, you guessed it, Part 5, my boy Roy. Now, I say my boy Roy, but I absolutely hate this fool. Like I said in the beginning of the video, the first time I was ever killed as Jason was because I was Roy. And it was because of this defense right here. But let's talk about the way he looks and everything first, right? So, the design of Roy is really cool. Like, it's amazing in this game, right? Like, look at him, right? And then when you knock his mask, he's actually the face of the actor who played Roy in Part 5. That's beautiful. That's beautiful, right? There are a lot of people who hate that, but I like it because, you know, as we all know, or as people who have seen the movies know, this boy is not Jason. He's Roy. This boy's Roy. So I thought it was really cool that they put the actual face of Roy under the mask. It was pretty cool. And his kills, I don't know. I guess they're pretty cool. They're really brutal, which is pretty awesome. Kind of boring though. Maybe it's just because I've literally seen them all like 100 times since everybody was playing him for the first like week or 2 after he was dropped. I mean, maybe I just got tired of him. He needs an exclusive kill pack like 4, and the other one. So that's just what I think. Another little personal, kind of a personal thing to say about Roy is I think the way he knocks the door is really stupid. Really stupid. He literally takes the handle of the shears and hits the door, which would, you know, obviously break the shears. I kind of wish that they had like rethought that. Like, I kind of wish that he could, I don't know, do something different. On another personal note on Roy, I really hated when learning the fact that he died the same way as Jason, and that he would survive a gunshot. Now, keep in mind what happened to him in the movies, though. He was pretty damn strong in the movie, so I guess that's okay. And basically, Gun Media tweeted out saying he thinks he's Roy or something like that. So that's cool, though. I mean, like, yeah, he's so crazy he thinks he's Roy is what they said, I think. Anyway, let's get into the stats. So starting out, you know, he with the Jason buff combined here, he spawns with 9 knives, 7, and then you count the 2 that's in the shack right there with you. So that's pretty OP. And then you pick some up, you pick another few up, and all of a sudden you got about 12, 13 knives. That's pretty OP, especially when you got a runner, and you just can't catch them. Alright, so we got stock here. Like I mentioned earlier, doesn't really matter to me that much. But like I said, there are people who love getting those sneaky stock kills. So they would probably love that. He can run. And as you can see over here, he's not losing shift. So that combination makes for a really fast Jason. Combined with the Jason buff speed with the last update, he is ungodly fast, guys. Insanely fast. If you guys haven't seen him play. I mean, like, I don't know why you wouldn't. Literally, everybody was playing as him for like 2 weeks. But if you haven't seen Roy, he is insanely fast. Insanely fast. But once again, we come back to this, and this, you can just turn around him. You can just turn around and hit him once, and it should be a stun. I think with Roy, you can get a stun with any counselor with any weapon at this point. I mean, I've stunned him as Tiffany with a pot. I've got stunned as him by Tiffany with a pot. Then you could, of course, you can do the whole cancel out the hit thing if you grab as they hit. And then of course you have the whole block, but then you come back here. Block chance is bad. So most time when you block, it's not even a block, and you still get stunned here. So that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. But I got him at 5th. So and the only reason I got him at 5th, guys, is honestly his speed and his throwing knives. Because look at this, even his grip strength is bad. Everything about him is bad. Like if they hadn't made him able to run, this would be where 7 is. I promise you, on my list, this would be where 7 is. So this is just my honest opinion of where Roy is. I know people are gonna disagree because he's the new Jason or whatever. You can disagree if you want to. I don't really care. It's whatever. Okay. That's all I gotta say about Roy. So moving on to 6th place. 6th place for me. 6th place for me. I know this is gonna sound crazy. We're all gonna get a lot of disagreements here. But 6th place for me is this boy. It's this boy. I'm sorry, but it is this boy. So I believe 9 unlocks at 31, and people are really not gonna understand whenever I put him over over Jasons that are unlocked at like in the 20s or in the wherever you unlock them. I forgot, it's been a long time. So just let me explain, okay? So okay. So let's go over the way he looks and everything first. First of all, I'd just like to point out really quickly that I hated the movie. Besides, Daddy Kane was Jason. Other than that, pretty terrible movie. Like, I hated it. It's personal. His weapon's pretty dope. And he looks really good in the game. Really good in the game. Masked and masked off. And unmasked. That's pretty cool. His kills are really cool. Probably one of the most brutal, before they added Roy. Now then. Let's talk about his strengths real quick. Shift. Increase shift, but can't run. So once again, you have that kind of balance that 7 doesn't have. He's got the shift, but he can't run. It's cool. It balances itself out. Stun resistance. I like my Jason to have a good stun resistance. It's kind of a personal factor, but I hate being stunned. You can block and everything like that. But I really just don't like doing that. I just like being able to be hit and not be stunned. And this Jason provides that for me, which, fun fact, this was actually my main until, what was it? Probably about a week or 2 ago. This was my main, and here he is at 6th place. I know, it's weird, but it just happened. It just happened, guys. A lot of factors in that. So, for example, one factor in changing my opinion on him was the traps. 3 traps. Which, like I said, ever since about a week or 2 ago, I started playing in lobbies where people love killing Jason. It's a good challenge for them, and they get it done most of the time. I'm a part of that group until I'm Jason. Everybody mutes me in the party chat, and then they go for killing me. So, 3 traps for me is not really an option because I like people not escaping, but I better not die. And 3 traps just doesn't let you do that. Because I like 1 or 2 on Shack, and then I also want 1 on the car, 1 on the phone, or whatever else. And so he just wasn't providing that need for me. So that is probably the main reason I dropped him. It's just a fact. And then this as well. His mask does come off sooner with the less hit points. Keep in mind, not as soon as Roy. For sure not as soon as Roy. But I believe it can be done in about 8 or 9 good hits with a Bugsy with an axe. Or someone with similar strength with a machete or an axe, yeah. 8 or 9 might be saying too much. Because I know Savini's in the 12 area. He's high up there, though. He's high up there. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, just with all that stuff together, I just wasn't able to main part 9 anymore, sadly. But let's go to 7th place, almost at the top here. Alright. So there's only 2 possible things it could be. Let me let you guys see what both the possibilities are. So, 4 or 8. And let's go through them one more time. Maybe you guys take your guesses. So in 7th place, I have 4. Now 4 is 100% the most underrated Jason in the whole game, in my opinion. Not many people like 4, and I don't really know why, because he's really good. So let's go over the way he looks and his kills first. First off, part 4, and this might be a little biased, right? This might add bias, but part 4 is my favorite movie, dude. Like, when Corey Feldman just takes that and he whacks him and he falls, oh my god, dude. Oh my god, dude. Possibly, like, maybe second favorite scene ever in, like, horror movie history, right? Because I've seen a lot of horror movies. I've watched them a lot. Every October, I just sit in my room and just, like, watch the Sci-Fi Channel and stream. Basically, it's like my October. Because they play like all the dope shit. They play all the Freddy's and all the Friday 13th, and I got them all recorded, and I watch them all from time to time and stuff like that. So that's adding a little bit of bias to it, but it's whatever. So his kills are really brutal, really cool, really brutal, and he does have an exclusive kill pack which I've yet to buy. I'll probably buy it here pretty soon, whenever I get a chance. So yeah, that's cool. The way he looks, I already mentioned, it looks really, really good. Alright, so let's go over his strengths. Alright. He can run. He's got bad shift. Balances itself out, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, like I keep on saying, Part 7 Jason is the one exception to this rule. He has the worst of both worlds. You know, he's got an L on both. Every other Jason's is only got 1, and it kind of balances out, you know. Weapon strength. So this is the same as part 3. A lot of part 4s, before the pocket knife update, will be slashers because, like I said, in about 2 hits they can injure you to the point where you can't run. And that's before the pocket knife update it was awesome, but people are still doing it, and it kind of feels like it's being abused. Like I said, because people go for slash kills, and I don't do that. I don't agree with that. So it is cool though to be able to do that. If you're like 100% sure a guy's got a knife, or you're gonna get hit by somebody while you're holding them, it's still good to slash on them a couple times. So that's good. And then destruction. Now destruction is what made me like this whole list is revolved around destruction, guys. If you guys don't know what destruction is, it allows you to 3-hit barred doors. And I think it's a 2-hit on walls, I believe. And that's before rage, of course. You know, that's in the very beginning of the game. You can do this. I love that. I love that. It's like so relentless, you know? Like, you don't let them have time to regain stamina. You're immediately on them again in just 3 hits. It's beautiful. And that's if they get the bar on. Like I said, he's got the run, so possibly you can get on them before they even bar the door. I've had cases where it's happened to me, and I have done it. People are barring the door, and this Jason is so fast, he can actually just hit them and cancel the door barring process and just completely injure them because we have the destruction here, like I said. And it's a hard L for that person. And like I said, I've done it, and I've had it done to me. So yeah, he's really relentless, a really relentless Jason we have here. So that's pretty cool. Now we have the water speed again. It's probably like 3rd or 4th time I said this, but like water speed doesn't matter to me at all. When I was creating this list, water speed, I don't care about water speed at all because I don't let them start the boat anyways. So, and then we have the shift, which is balanced out here. Now this is the reason why I don't use this Jason, guys. This is the reason why you don't see me using this Jason anymore. Like I keep saying, I find myself constantly in lobbies where everybody's going for a Jason kill, and he's got 3 traps. That's this Jason's one fault. His one fault. In my opinion, of course. People may have a different belief. But like I said, I'm always in a lobby where people are trying to kill Jason. I want one or two, preferably two traps on my shack, as well as one on each exit. And you just can't do that with 3 traps. You just can't. That's just Jason's one fault, in my opinion. It's very sad to see, but that's where he's at. So basically, if you guys were keeping track, you should know who in my opinion, is the best Jason in the game. Forgive me, I do not really remember what level he unlocks at. I'll probably like have the words on screen or something like that in the video when I edit it. But it is part 8 in 8th place. What do you know? So part 8. He's got everything. He's got everything. Right? In my opinion. So he's got the water speed, which, like I said, doesn't matter to me that much. But he's got the destruction. The 3 hitting of doors, barred doors. Like I said with part 4, beautiful. He's got the stock, which doesn't matter to me that much. It's cool though. Like I said, I like to use it if I want to hear, if I want to morph on somebody and hear what they're talking about, see what they're fixing, etc. Some people like getting those really sneaky kills. I'm not that guy. Since, like I've said, that doesn't really matter to me anyway, so I'm not taking an L there. Now, can't run, but you don't see shift plus here. So what that means is he is one of the slower Jasons, which does make him not as relentless as part 4. But he's still good. He's still good because he doesn't have plus shift, but he doesn't have minus shift either. So the shift is normal. The shift is normal here. So it's kind of good. It's kind of good. And then we have the grip strength minusing, which means, you know, they break out faster. You can't get as many environment kills. Basically, this is going to sound bad. Like, I know a lot of people don't like this, but as part 8, you kind of need to kill them immediately. I know people aren't going to like that, but they do break really fast, especially a Bugsy, an Adam, or a Tommy. They'll break really fast. So, you got to go for a kill as soon as you can. I mean, if there's an environment kill right there, hey, go for it, man. But if there's not, you just take them to the middle of the room, or take them to wherever you can get a kill and just spam. Honestly, I'm sorry, but I know people don't like that, but that's what you gotta do with part 8. And then the one reason part 8 is in first place is because you don't see the minus traps here. You don't see the minus traps. So you got the 5 traps, 1 or 2 for the shack, 1 for the car, etc., 1 for the phone, whatever you want to do. This list was kind of built around if you were trying to be killed. I may make another list where if you're in a noob lobby and say, I don't know, all you hear is like 8-year-olds on the mics, I may make a new list for that. But this list was primarily made for if you've got like level capped, like 3 or 4 level capped 150s in the lobby, and you can hear them and you know they're going to go for a kill. This list was kind of built for that person. So if you guys want me to build a list for a completely different list for, I don't want to say noob lobbies, but I don't know, maybe not tryhard lobbies is the word I'm looking for, comment down below, and that will be very different. I promise you, that will be insanely different, because like I said, the only reason this guy's in first place is because he's got the traps, and that's and if it weren't for that, my list would be insanely different. So if you guys want to see that list, like I said, comment down below. And that's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like rating. It's much appreciated. As well as be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Peace out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.